you weren't organized at work, enough at work, now you have an office organizer as well, okay? Wait, and I want you to have something else because I should report good behavior.
I tried to do a good job.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. So, at the end of the day, when it gets tough, it's wise to make the assist. No one expects you to know everything. Well, they expect me to know everything because clearly I'm just that smart. But a lot of you, no one's expecting you to know everything. Use your team to make the assist. I want to talk to you about a foul. The biggest foul I ever faced in my entire life. The one that actually hurt me the most, but made me the strongest. Made me know that I can become a very, very good leader, a good encourager, and stand up in front of you today with confidence. I'd like you to meet my son, Andrew. There he is at his 12th birthday. Andrew's a great kid, very, very smart, brilliant. Told me when he was 7 years old, Mom, I just wanted to tell you something. I said, what is this week? He said, I'm a nerd and I'm proud of it. And I said, okay, baby, you're going to be the best nerd you know how to be. And he did. When Andrew was 12, one day out of the blue, he came in from playing football. See, he wanted to be a basketball and a football player. He had all kinds of dreams and desires to do things. He came in from outside and said, Mom, I'm really, really having problems seeing out my right eye, and got a really big headache. I'm not really sure what's going on. And he'd been having these headaches for some time. So after 2 times over the past year taking him to get new eyeglasses from the doctor, I finally said, well, let's not go to the optometrist. Let's actually go to your doctor. So I went to the doctor's office and informed her, and she said, well, you know what, I think maybe he's got migraines. I said, no, I know a lot of people with migraines, and he doesn't, I'm almost sure it's not migraines. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's migraine. No, and now I'm arguing with the doctor because, again, I'm very smart. And I watch House. I watch that show. Anybody watch it? Staying in the Holiday Inn Express. Yeah, very smart. So I'm going, no, I don't know, and I'm just wondering, it just seems like something else. So she says, and then I remember, I said, here's another thing. We have a lot of height in my family. A lot of height in my family, and Andrew's been stuck at 4'10" for a whole year. Because I had the little measuring chart that you put up on the thing. And she said, are you serious? Let me check my charts. She runs back, she says, you're right. He has been 4'10" for a very long time. She said, this could be a pituitary issue. I said, okay, well, whatever, but can you just make them better? So she decides to give Andrew an MRI. Within an hour of that MRI, I got a call, and I knew it was dreadful. It said, please come to the doctor's office. I said, well, I'm really, really busy. Is there any way you could just talk to me on the phone? I said, no, we need you to come to the doctor's office. At that point, they informed me that my son had a very large tumor that was sitting on his optic nerve and his pituitary gland. They also informed me that it needed to come out immediately. He would need emergency surgery to save his life. I was having a really good day. But after you get that news, something about you shakes your faith. It shakes everything. So we went about the process of Andrew having this surgery, to make a long story short, with a lot of faith and a lot of prayer, and helping him to understand. There was a huge chance he may not make it through the surgery. There was also a huge chance that if he did make it through the surgery, he would be blind. Andrew did lose his vision, the majority of his vision. At first he lost all of it. A little light came back. This is Andrew with Tabs. Tabs is the dog they bring around for children and other people who have lost their vision in the hospital. This is up in Wolfson's in Jacksonville, Florida. And it was very, very tough to help him, to suddenly have to coach him through and help him understand some things. The hardest thing was Andrew began to use a cane, and he had to go back to his school. I could not believe that after such a traumatic experience, kids would pick on and bully a kid who lost his vision. They jump out in front of him and say, can you see me, man? Hey, blind boy, can you see me? Well, in addition to Andrew being one of the skinniest kids I'd ever seen growing up, this pituitary issue, by losing it, meant he lives his life on steroids. Steroids make you swell. That's the excuse I've been using for many. Oh, I'm on steroids. It's not the chocolate. These darn steroids, I tell you. Wish they'd take me off of these things. He lives his life on steroids. Andrew has gained 160 pounds in the last 3 years. So, not only, one more thing, he was born hearing impaired. slightly hearing impaired. Now he's legally blind. One of those terms I'd like to get changed, because is it possible to be illegally blind? Just a thought. Hey, you better stop bumping into things. I'm sick of jail. It's illegal. Anyway, just a thought. So now, here's this kid who says, whose self-esteem at 12, going through puberty, I'm hearing impaired, I'm blind, and I'm fat. Why did God do this to me? That's a hard thing to coach through. So we had to work on some things. The way that my son sees is, if you were to take a straw and look directly through a straw, he has lost all the vision. He's totally blind in his right eye, and then totally blind on the left peripheral. But he does see out of it. It's almost like looking through a straw, a very blurry straw, but he does see just enough. And I said, well, you know what? Everyone said this is a horrible thing. Andrew said this is the worst thing that can happen to you. This is horrible. And I said, no. You know why, sweetie? Because you have no peripheral distractions. You see, the Department of Blind Services came to work with my son. After being homeschooled for a while, I sent him to Florida School for the Deaf and the Blind. If there's anybody here from there, woo! Girlfriends, love you! Love you! I said, sweetie, here's something that you have that everyone else doesn't have. See, those wonderful people at FSDB and the Division of Blind Service taught my son to take that cane, and you got to focus on that. See, you can't worry about what's coming from the right or the left. You know those fouls, those distractions are there. But you stay focused on the goal. There was that whole basketball analogy all over again. Just stay focused on the goal. See, one of the things we do is we get all tied up with what if this doesn't work, and what if that, and well, what's the goal? How about you just stay focused on that? The distractions will come, and once they are actually problems, I'm not saying not to have foresight. I'm not saying not to be prepared, but don't stop. Keep going. You'll cross those bridges when you come to it. We don't do that a lot. So I said, baby, you have no peripheral distractions. That's great. In order to help out, I took him to New York City. He had great fear. See, he was constantly bumping into people in restaurants. He'd knock into people and they'd lose the tray. It was horrible. He'd cry. It would just be a horrible thing trying to get adjusted to only seeing this. So I said, we're going to New York City. See, that's the coach in me. What's the hardest place he can go? We're going downtown Manhattan. Get out your cane, and if people don't get out of the way, you just get to swing it. For the counselors in the room, I am a great patient. But that was my, you can't stay here. You got, just swing the cane, baby, and just go. You got to go. They taught you how to just go, right?